Josh here. We're reading Acts chapter 23, verses 12 through 15. And there are definitely enemies of the gospel, enemies that will go to great lengths to prevent the gospel from being spread. And particularly for us that are Christians and believers in Jesus Christ, those enemies will come after us and come against us. And we see this with the Apostle Paul. There are enemies that even though the Apostle Paul is captured, even though the Apostle Paul is in prison and definitely going to go to court, they're not satisfied with that. It's not enough that he's in chains. They actually need him dead. And so there are enemies of the gospel. So let us look and see what happens to the Apostle Paul. When it was daytime, if you remember, Apostle Paul just had stood in front of the Jewish Sanhedrin. He caused a big ruckus because he says he's on trial because of the resurrection of the dead. Half of the group were Pharisees, half the group were Sadducees, and so they began to argue with one another. And so the Roman government, the tribune, has really been protecting Paul through all of these various mob appearances. And so the tribune, yet again, saved the Apostle Paul from issues. And so they did it again. And so by daytime, the Jews said, we are going to make a plot, and they bound themselves by an oath neither to eat nor drink till they had killed Paul. So here is a sin for us to avoid, obviously killing, obviously hating, and it is also an attitude for us to adopt in the sense of that there are enemies of the gospel that want to see Christians be pulled down. And we have to always remember there are enemies who are not truly flesh and blood. Our true enemies are the dark, evil forces that are behind these terrible conspiracies. And so they said they are going to neither eat nor drink till they had killed Paul. And this oath that they are making is an oath that is basically, if you look at the Greek behind it, what they're saying is that they are saying that they will be cursed if they do not kill Paul. They're saying if we don't successfully kill the Apostle Paul, then we need to be damned eternally. We need to be cursed. So it's a very serious oath that these guys are making. And they're not going to eat or drink till they kill Paul. And there were more than 40 who made this conspiracy. So not a small number. It's a big group that is saying we are not going to eat and drink until we have killed Paul. And if we've not done it, then we are damned eternally. That's the oath that they made. Verse 14. So they went to the chief priests and the elders. And it is of note that they went to the chief priests and the elders because these would have been the Sadducees, the ones that are definitely against the Apostle Paul. Chief priests and the elders. They went to the aristocracy. They didn't go to the scribes, which would have been the Pharisees. So they go to these guys and they said, we have strictly bound ourselves by an oath, and again saying that we will be damned eternally if we do not kill Paul. We have bound ourselves by an oath to taste no food till we have killed Paul. So here is their plan. Now, therefore, you, along with the council, give notice to the tribune. We know this fella, this Roman, is protecting Paul, but Paul needs to die. So you all need to give notice to the tribune, and you need to tell him to bring him down to you, as though you were going to determine the case more accurately. It's going to be a ruse. It's going to be a plan that you will say, we need to see Paul. We need to talk to him a little bit more. And then as the tribune is bringing Paul to you, we are ready to kill him before he comes near. Again, a sin to avoid, and more importantly, an attitude for us to remember is that there are truly enemies of the gospel. Satan and the dark, evil forces do not want the good news of Jesus Christ to go out, and they're going to do anything possible to see and undermine the gospel proclamation. Of course, at this time, who is it more that they would want to go against than the Apostle Paul? I pray that has been a blessing to you, and I pray that you will always remember there are enemies of the gospel and that you will keep your eyes open for that. I'll see you all in the next video.